The objective of my workshop is to encourage others to partake in diversity activities because it is so important for everyone to have the ability to relate well to all types of people in the workplace. It is a great leadership skill to have. The outcome that I want to see from my workshop is people to have a better understanding, acceptance, and value of diverse backgrounds because this can help young people and adults thrive. So, first, one diverse activity that I really enjoy is the potato activity. The goal of this is to help youth eliminate stereotyping and recognize the uniqueness of each individual. It takes about 20 to 30 minutes, and the materials that you'll need is a brown paper bag, one potato for each student in the class, and one potato for the teacher. So, the procedure is to select one potato for your demonstration and have a story in mind to describe your potato to the class. Hold up your potato in front of the class and say, "I have here a potato. I don't know about you, but I've never thought that much about potatoes. I've always taken them for granted. To me, potatoes are all pretty much alike. Sometimes I wonder if potatoes aren't like people." Pass around the bag of potatoes and ask each student to take one. Tell each student to examine the potato, get to know its bumps, scars, defects, and make friends with it for about a minute or so. Get to know your potato well enough to be able to introduce your friend to the group. After a few minutes, tell students that you'd like to start by introducing your friend to them. Share a story about your potato and how it got its bumps. When enough students have introduced their friends to the class, take the bag around to each person. Ask them to put their friends back into the bag. Ask the class, would you agree with the statement, all potatoes are the same? Why or why not? Ask them to try to pick out their friend. Mix up the potatoes and roll them onto a table. Ask everyone to come up and pick out their potatoes. After everyone has their potatoes and you have your friend back, say, well, perhaps potatoes are a lot like people. Sometimes we lump people of a group all together when we think they are all alike. We are really saying that we haven't taken the time or thought it important enough to get to know the person. Another one that I really like activity is lookism. So when the word diversity is mentioned, several terms are likely to come to mind. So the goal for this project is to help participants think about the concept of lookism and to identify how appearance affects bias. This takes about 45 minutes. The materials you'll need are markers and one flip chart for each group. So, divide the class into small groups, 4 learners to a group, and issue each group a flip chart and markers. Each group will make 2 flip charts. One will be titled How Prejudice and Bias Focus on the Physical Characteristics of People, and the other will be titled How Prejudice and Bias Focus on the Dress and Makeup of People. Under each tile, they will list how people are hindered for not meeting a group's or organization's standards, or also known as the norms. Coach the groups as they work their way through the exercise. So, discuss what is fair and legitimate to ask of people about physical characteristics and appearance when it comes to workplace norms. For example, ability to do their job, safety requirements, loss of personal because of bias about appearance, and so on and so forth. This activity is appropriate for adults and older youth. It can also be adapted so that the discussion focuses on inclusion in school, social groups, and other settings more relevant to the participant group.